What's up, friends? It's Terry. Alternative Influence Coaching is where you are. This is the vlog. Welcome. If you've never been here before, stop the video, run over and subscribe, like the video. Help us out with that, would you please? It's simple little things, but we need it. We need your help with that, okay? Been away for a little while. I apologize for that. Trying to prioritize my life, get away from the holidays and the rush there. And we're excited about this year. I know a lot of you have all kinds of emotions, and I want to talk about those emotions, and that is the reason for the podcast today. Those emotions and checking in on peace. Typically, I'm keeping it more on the business end of things. Today, this week, with the events that have unfolded already early this year, as messy as they are, I think it's important that we kind of go back a little bit and talk about our fear, but in a different light. Talk about opposite of fear, which I think is peace. So before I say that, I'm excited to tell you that I'm taking our book, Failure's Guide to Business Success, and I'm going to mix it with the e-course. And I'm going to create a workbook. And when I do that, I'm going to start hosting little entrepreneurial workshops, little mini workshops with 4 of my best entrepreneurial friends. Okay, so I'm excited about that. Stay tuned for more information. If you're new here, I need you to go and hit the subscribe button. So just pause the video real quick. Go do that. Help a brother out. I really need your help with that, okay? So, I've talked in the past in length about fear. And fear gets in the way of a lot of things. Fear will paralyze. Fear will manipulate you. Fear will tell you things that aren't true and really can come in between you and your relationships, but it can come between you and your business and your goals. And it does that in a way of really just messing with your emotions in an unsettling way, okay? It causes anxiety. It causes roadblocks. It causes you to freeze up in thought when you're trying to create. If you're a creative person, you know that those blockages really suck. Fear can also build a case against somebody who you might think is after you, but isn't really. It also has a way of edging itself into sensationalism, and sensationalism is something that sells lots of things. Action movies are sensational, right? I'm going to want to go see an action movie based on the term action. So I can't wait for it to be sensational. But sometimes we sensationalize things on our own, or we let people do it, sensationalize things that shouldn't be sensationalized. Is saying that word a lot. It's a tongue twister. Make no mistake. For instance, the news. I don't think it should be sensationalized, and I don't think that bad news should sell so well. But how am I going to change that? Right? I don't know that I can. I don't have control over that. In a perfect world, there'd be the Positive News Network. That's right. PNN. One day. It's up here. One day. I think the Positive News Network would be a great thing. It'd be a way to take the worst news and find the silver lining to that story, as opposed to just reporting the worst news. I would love to hear that uplifting story. I would love to hear how people at the turn of this pandemic and this economic stress that we're in, I would love to hear stories of how people and businesses have pivoted, how they have not needed government assistance, or how they've taken their government assistance and started a business. I did that once. Stories in there. Okay? I would love to hear that. Those are stories that shake us up and help us to get pumped up about the future. Those are stories that will show us that it's not all doom and gloom, even though there's plenty of doom and gloom out there. Okay? We know that's true, right? We still see our friends and laugh and want to hug them. We still play. We have this desire to do fun things and activities and travel and see the world. Lots of positive things, right? So I want you to think about that, because we're going to go to the positive place here in a minute as we talk about peace. So I like to talk about peace in a way that's like fear. So if peace and fear are opposites, it's like light and darkness. So what is darkness? It's just an absence of light, right? So what is fear? It's the absence of peace, all right? So if that's a stretch for you, I want to let you can think about it. You can think about it and maybe revisit that, okay? Here's what I want to do. So this is my 2021 peace checklist. I want you to go through this and see if you can do it. It can help you a lot. So the first thing is remove the negative. The negative could be a lot of things. Yes, it could be the haters. This is to all my haters. Sometimes you have to think less about what other people think of you. Remember that whatever you do in your life shouldn't be for the approval of others. And maybe try to satisfy a goal or your plan a little more. The negative isn't always just other people. The negative could be the effects of other people that aren't maybe intentionally trying to be negative. What do I call that? Drama. Maybe you're a magnet for drama. There seems to be always something. Friends, car blew up. Now they need to borrow your car. You feel bad telling them no, but you tell them yes, but then you don't have a way to get to work, or you don't have a way to go get groceries. And you hate to ask them for your car back because you feel bad about the situation, right? Or your boyfriend's cat died, and it's making him really sad, which is making you really sad, but you really got to focus on work. And then you get an email about, needing a report or something that you don't have, and then you're going to have to work on the weekends for it. It's just always something, right? Feels like one thing builds on another, builds on another, builds on another. And I believe if you go back and watch the video that I have with Roy from Barbell Voodoo, I like what he says. You give yourselves a little bit of time to mourn. So I want you to do that with the negative or with bad news. So think about the negative as bad news. It can be bad people as well. That one's a little trickier to separate yourself from. But the first step in doing that is admitting that those people are negative. And maybe creating some distance or boundaries. So the bad news just needs a time limit. So I'm going to mourn that bad news. I'm going to let myself sit and think about that and let's be reasonable. I'm going to let myself sit and think about that for a minute. I'm going to contemplate that for a couple hours. And then maybe I'll take a drive or take a walk. And when I come back from that walk, I'm moving on. That's what I want you to try to do. Okay, those are two ways to remove the negative, to get the negative out of your life. All right, the negative affects your peace. So first and foremost, there. All right, the next one is count the positive. Well, there's got to be positives in your life, right? You're thinking, nah, man, it's really rough. Like I don't have a job, or I had to take a pay cut, and I didn't get my stimulus check yet, and I don't have, like, my goals are being screwed up because of COVID, or because of the government, and you have all these issues. But you're alive right now. I mean, you can't be watching this if you're not. Which, if you're alive and you're watching this, which means you have eyes, you can see, you can hear, so that's cool. Those are big things. I mean, it's suck to not have those. And you have your phone or a computer in which to see this. So those are positives. And you have the internet. Right? I'm being a little facetious here. But you get the point. There are plenty of things that you can count as positives, as blessings. Okay? And I don't know where your blessings come from, but I know where mine come from. And I'm really thankful for my blessings. From the food on my table, to my wife of 20 years, to my 4 kids, for my ability to write, for my ability to create. I love personal training, and I love talking to entrepreneurs. And I have all these skills from all this pain and suffering from the last 15 or 20 years of work life that now I can spin for the positive and teach others with. Well, I didn't have that 10 years ago because I only had half the experience, right? And I think about all the mess that I had to go through on some level or another over the last 10 years. If I would have just only focused on the mess that it was and not the positives that were coming out of it, never would have had peace. Right there. So take that for a second and think about it. All right, we want to count the positives, count the blessings, all right? Check your emotions at the door. I have been accused, sometimes rightfully so, of not giving emotions the proper validation that they deserve. And I would argue that even though maybe rightfully accused, that they're still wrong. I know how to check my emotions. The problem is that people see me check my emotions and they assume that I have no emotions at all. And that's not the case. I'm very happy, very focused. I have peace. I get excited real easy. Probably way too easy when it comes to an idea, right? And I have days where I'm sad too. The problem is I don't put my emotions on like a pair of glasses here and see everything through them. I pull them down and look over so I can get a really good context of what I'm looking at. And then based on what I'm looking at, maybe I'll just peek through that with my emotions and get excited about it. Okay? So try checking your emotions at the door. Try giving them a second row seat to your life and not a front row seat, so that we're not knee-jerk responding so fast, right? See guys get real wound up and they start arguing, and you can see the tension building, and it goes from arguing to that body language get real big, right? And they start taking a step forward. Well, that aggravation, that frustration became movement. And before you know it, these guys are fist fighting. Now, I've been in a fight or two, and oftentimes find myself coming out on top when I just wait and just wait for the other guy to get so aggravated that he's coming at me, and then all you have to do is redirect it. Okay? Think about that. Think about redirecting negative energy, negative emotions coming at you, right? You can't do that if you're responding with your emotions. So if you're responding to an emotional response from somebody else, all we have is a dog fight in the dust. Nobody can see anything. Nobody knows who's winning. It's a mess. Everybody comes out dizzy and bleeding, all right? Moving on. Stick to the plan. It's the last thing I have on the list. And the plan has always been whatever your goal is, your vision, your calling, whatever that thing is, that passion that drives you to be who you are. And so that begs the question of, well, who do I think I am, right? Well, I'm an entrepreneur. No, maybe. I'm a father. Okay, getting closer. I'm a leader. All right. Okay, we're getting that's what I want to hear. I'm a fighter. All right. Come on now. I'm going somewhere and I want to do something, and I have that written down, and I'm not going to let my fear, I'm not going to let the state of the world or the state of the government get in the way of my goal, right? You're going to get out there and you're going to help people. You're going to get out there and you're going to do good. When did we stop thinking about that? Right? They were too busy arguing about which side is right, as opposed to thinking about how can I help the other side be who they are? How can I show that side kindness? Why is it so hard for me to see their position? It's deep thought. It's deep thought. I can't wait to see the comments. All right. If you gotta have a plan. If you don't have a plan, that's what I do. I help people come up with a plan by we figure out who you are, we figure out your strengths, we figure out your passions, where you want to go. We look at it in a 5-year, in a 3-year, and in a 1-year plan, and then we start putting the plan into action. We try to put away distractions, but we're always open to a pivot. So we want to learn from our failure, so we want to push till we feel some resistance and then pivot. We want to listen to what our clients are saying. We want to give them what they want. If enough clients are asking for the same thing, then a product can be born out of that. Listen to your following. Listen to your clients. Right? Your kids do the same thing. Even if they stay in the room the whole time and never talk to you, and they're stuck playing video games the whole day, they're still trying to tell you something. Can you listen enough to hear what they're saying? All right? I hope this list helps you. This is how I stay level-headed in crazy times. This is how I got through 2020, right? This is I don't hang around and just think that, oh, we'll just get over January 1st, and in the new year, everything will be better. I don't put my hope in a year, all right? I know I have a plan. There's a way to get hope. There's a way to get hope through peace, and it has a lot to do with this checklist, all right? So I hope it helps you. I hope I can help you if it's a goal setting, if we're looking to goal set. If you're a fitness entrepreneur, I'm your guy. If you're a trainer who's looking to find a business mentor, that's what I love to do. So let's connect. In the meantime, y'all head out there, check out the e-course, grab the book if you don't have it. Hit me up in the comments if you want a book. I'll send it to you. And let's work together, all right? We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.